but
Up in the morning. A carpenter can just wake up in the morning
mhm.
and say, I'm an agent, and start posting stuff on their social media or their status, WhatsApp. Let me use that first. Okay, I have properties. You can let, you can lease, whatever you want. So, what gave birth to the rise of this, street agents, and not just street agents, and sorry, not just street agents, but illegal. I call them illegal because they're not registered. There's nobody regulating this. Even if there is a body, the regulation is not keen, or rather, the organization is not keen in regulating this particular, because the housing sector is a huge sector.
Yeah.
It's a sector where there's money, a huge amount of money in the housing sector. So, what gave rise to the street agents?
Okay, first of all, I'd say the level of unemployment in the country, right? The unemployment rate is so high that an average Nigerian is just looking for a way out, and looking at the fact that we have houses everywhere. I have uncles that have houses, right? I have aunties that have houses. So instead of me to break my head, I just go to my uncle and like, sir, can I help you let
This
this
property.
property? And I get 5% commission, 10% commission. So I think first of all, the unemployment rate in the country has actually given birth to to this menace we have as a society. Then secondly, Nigerians, we are Africans, and we always look out for ourselves, our friends, our families. You know, for instance, if without the knowledge that I have today, if I have a property and I want to let, and I know that I have one niece or nephew somewhere that is jobless, you know, I can just look up to him and, guy, can you let this property and you get your commission? So it's actually from the perspective of the unemployment rates, then as a people, our culture, and our values, the fact that I cannot just be looking at my brother sleeping at home doing nothing. I want him to get up to do something. So I think these reasons has actually been the major cause of of this menace we have as a society.
Okay. So, there's one basic thing I always look out for, which is awareness in different sectors. People need to be aware of this. People need to know that, okay, um, I can also be a victim tomorrow. My brother can be a victim. Someone very close to me can be a victim. Even a very close colleague of mine can
Yeah.
be a victim. So is there proper awareness to this in Nigeria presently?
I'd say there had been awareness. I don't want to measure it if it's proper or if it's not adequate. Like I said earlier, that when it comes to real estate, right, the profession that is actually supposed to practice anything real estate are the estate surveyors and valuers that are regulated by the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers, right? And there is a government regulatory body called the ESVABON. Do you understand? And from the institution, knives, their awareness. But this country is large. We. I am not speaking for knives here. I'm just speaking from like a consumer. Do you understand? And there are steps. We always take things one step at a time. And from the government, I believe there are steps that have been taken by the government to actually what's the word, to can I pass?
Sure.
Okay.
It's recorded, don't worry.
Okay, 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 okay,
It's
okay, okay.
recorded.
All right.
Okay, in that case, let me cough. Thank you.
Okay, okay.
Because the fan was.
Sorry.
Thank you. Okay, excuse me.
Please, if you're ready, you can.
Okay, all right. So can I now?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So from the government, I believe there are efforts to actually curb this menace, And when we talk of real estate, we're not even talking of just letting. We have issues of people going to pay for a property. You are buying lands that someone else had already paid for.
Yeah.
Do you understand? That is why I believe that is why some real estate developers in Abuja, for instance, don't deal with street agents. For instance, where I work, my company Prime Six, um, we we don't deal with street agents. Like if you are a real estate agent, you must be registered. Do you understand? At least it is legal for you to register your company. Do you understand? So we don't deal with agents that are first of all not registered under the Corporate Affairs Commission Act and all of those stuff. So these are things that I believe the government has actually put one or two steps in place. I don't have figures on that, so I cannot. But this is something that I believe, because this issue did not start today. It did not start today. It did not start yesterday. I'm very sure even before I was born, we've been having issues.
Okay, so before I let my beautiful co-host, move on, you spoke about registration, okay, and still under awareness. For me, I don't feel having a CAC certificate alone should be part of the basis for one to become a street agent. I feel
Professional
that
agent.
professional
Yes.
agents, yes. I feel there should be, two or maximum of three strong bodies, that are registered with the federal government, recognized by the federal government, that should be able to, help regulate this, because anybody can go and do their CAC registration on, is it not just to bring out a company name, do the necessary registration, and that person is still not legit.
Yeah. So when it comes to organizations or sectors of the economy, we have the upstream, midstream, and downstream sectors, right? Midstream and upstream. The only issues we always have in this, a bit of midstream, then the most part of the problem is from the downstream. That is where we have the agents and the people that, do you understand? Naives is there, and for you to be under Knives, you must have studied estate management and valuation
Of
from
course.
from a accredited institution. Do you
yeah.
understand? So, but for people that cannot go through that, there is this body, Association of Estate Agents of Nigeria. Do you understand? And I think there are other bodies in Lagos State. Yeah, there are other bodies in
That are
Lagos State
recognized
that
by
are
the federal
recognized by the federal
government.
government,
Okay.
that regulates the activities of agents.
Okay.
Do you understand? But in Abuja, most things I see, I just see different WhatsApp group chats. I just have a lot of guys in there. But I believe there is an association of estate agents of Nigeria that regulates. You have to be part of them. You have to register with them.
Okay.
I think there is even an exam you need to write,
Oh.
because when it's not just about taking clients somewhere, professionalism matters. How do you conduct yourself? And all of these things are things that I believe the Association of Estate Agents of Nigeria have actually put in place, because there's an exam you write before you can be part of that body. Just
Okay.
like the naives,
Okay.
there is you have to write the professional exam, and you have to get inducted to be part of that body. So those two bodies in Abuja I am aware of.
Okay.
But I believe there are a lot of organizations that are bodies that are recognized by the governments in Lagos State that regulates. I think there's one called REMS. Yes, in Lagos State, I've heard of them too before.
Okay, so Sandra, do you have any question before we go down?
Yes,
and
most
take a break?
definitely. Thank you very much. You've been giving us amazing insights into this problem. Now, it's obvious that we have a problem, and for the fact that we have a group of persons who are not professionally registered, who are not affiliated with any professional body, just going out with word of mouth to market properties
Yeah.
that they have little or no idea about to people, shows that there is a problem. Now, how do these guys operate? If like for the ordinary Nigerian, for some persons, even though we might be talking about street agents and everything, some people may still not have an idea of what we are saying, maybe because they've not had an opportunity to rent a property or even buy a property. So how can these persons be identified? What is their mode of operation?
Okay, first of all, you do not have an office. And me, with the type of knowledge I have right now, if you call yourself a real estate agent and you don't have an official space where you do your business from, I cannot do business with you.
Okay.
You know, where we come, I don't blame citizens because when it comes to demand and supply of real estate, right? The supply is limited as against the demand.
Okay.
And I believe you would have heard some people looking for an apartment and they have been searching for 1, 2, 3 months and they've not gotten anything, you know. So now, because of this gap, this supply gap, right, it has given this unprofessional people the edge. Because the truth of the matter is, like I think we are discussing the pros and the cons, right? When there is a new listing, trust me, they know first, even before the professionals. Yes.
Yes, because they're on the street.
They are
And
on
the
the
news,
streets.
yes, the news on
The
the
landlords,
street.
the landlords know them. Do you understand? And because of not wanting to do this, do you understand? Even our landlords, we need to hold them to, like, we need to hold them because most of them are always running from paying VAT. If you are going to a professional that is duly registered, you are going to pay VAT. That is constitutional. You're supposed to pay VAT. Do you understand? But because our landlords are trying to boycott this, they
Not
prefer,
doing the right
not doing the right
thing.
thing. They want to go through the street agent because they know the street agent is just after his 10% and it's off. Do you understand? So all of these things are reasons why this sector keeps flourishing. So, like you said, if there had been awareness, I think one of the things we need to do is actually start going to our landlords, house owners.
Start with them.
Let us start with them. Because as a house owner, if you know that if you do this, you'll be jailed or you'll be fined for it, right? You won't do it. So, did I answer your question?
Yeah, a bit of it because
Okay.
I was trying to have an idea
Of how they operate.
into
Yes.
into their modus operandi.
Okay, now what they do is they are always on the streets.
Okay.
You know, they're always on the streets. I stay in Kubwa, right? I know where they operate. They have different, you see them in groups under the trees, drinking in a bar. Do you understand? When maybe you ask someone, I'm looking for an apartment, let's go, I know somewhere. They'll take you there and this one will tell you, I have this, I have that. Or they are so connected that maybe someone gives you their number and, okay, I want a 3-bedroom apartment in so place. They don't have it, they have other guys that, sorry, they call their colleagues and they come on board. From there, you have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 agents working on just one property. Do you understand? Sometimes they start taking you to properties that they themselves know is not available. Do you understand? Because they want to collect inspection fee. Inspection fee is not legal. It is illegal. It is illegal. You know, inspection fee is illegal. But because this sector has really not been regulated, they get away with it. They get away with it. So the way they operate is they're always somewhere, maybe in a bar, drinking under a tree in an area. They are just there. They will just be seated in cars somewhere, you know, and maybe I'm an innocent person looking for an apartment, right? I know there are agents here. I just go there, and because people keep coming there, that business is flourishing for them, and they keep doing it. So basically, that is how they operate. Then, because they are part of that community, they probably know almost all the landlords there.
They know the in and out.
They know the in and out, and maybe the landlord feels that there's a vacant space in my house. There's a relationship already. He tells them, "Oh boy, I have one bedroom here for rental. When you have anybody, bring." And you understand? That is how they get listings. That's how they get listings. Thank God for social media now. They do a lot of WhatsApp. A lot of WhatsApp. So they do a lot of their transactions using WhatsApp. You know, you see a lot of group chats. This one realtor. Many of them don't even know what it means to be a realtor. You know, so that is basically how they operate.
Okay. All right. Now, away from the cons, let's look at the pros because, like the saying goes, that whatever has a big bad side will definitely have its own good side. Even though some persons may say not everything, of course. But I want to believe that those street agents definitely have some form of qualities that, if harnessed properly, can be used to benefit the housing sector. Now their resourcefulness, the fact that they have this local knowledge, the street knowledge, the fact that they are able to connect with others, they are so persuasive. Let me use an instance. So okay, so I was looking for a property recently just to rent for someone, and then I'm recommended. The person is recommended because he actually delivered for somebody that I know, and then she's like, just call this guy. Call this guy. He's going to deliver for you. So he's like bringing pictures. Is it this one? I already told him my budget. I said, this is the budget this person has. So you have to find something within this budget. He knows that this budget can get me something, but he keeps insisting that this budget is too low for this, even though he knows that I am going to get something even better than what he will show me for way higher than my budget. But he kept on like, oh, your budget is very low. They are so persuasive. And then he takes me to this place where he knows that I'm not going to lie. And then because that property has been there for long, he's trying to see how he gets his percentage for the fact that that property has been there for so long and nobody is renting it. Let him try to convince me and tell me why I need to go for it, even though there's no water, why I need to stay in that kind of a house, because, oh, this is my money that I have is not going to get me something more befitting than what he's showing me. And then I tell him I don't want that. And then he say, okay, let's go and see another property. And then they take me to another property, and then they're like, okay, oh, they just told me now that they have a story to say.
And you keep paying inspection fee, inspection fee.
At some point, something tickled me. I'm like, okay, this guy just wants to get inspection fee, because for every session you have to pay. He told me that, okay, so my 3,500 naira is inspection fee. So for every session that I'm calling him that, oh, let's go inspect properties,
there's a 3,500 naira
waiting for him for doing nothing, basically just walking about, and then he's walking with me. So do you know what I did? What I did was, okay, this guy, I know that, you just have that discernment that this person is not going to give you what you want. And I'm, okay, since you want work, since I've already paid you this 3,500, we'll have to spend this 3,500. So I'm like, going with him to places, and then we walk all through, because we walk till he escorts me to close to my neighborhood, and then we are just checking properties until when he tells me that, oh, this house, if only you had told me some days back, we would have gotten the house. The landlord just tell me that someone has paid. Like, so it just shows that these guys are smart.
Yeah, they are.
They are quite persuasive. They have the marketing skills and everything. But you just need the right form of association so that they can, if there is anything, like if it's appropriate to say, to shop their game, so that they can be regulated. Because as much as they may have that finance and everything, people are falling victims. If something goes wrong, who do we report to?
Exactly.
If I pay a property, like, you can transact business with an agent without even knowing the landlord.
True.
You hire a property, and then someone comes to me. There's that possibility that someone will come to me and say, I didn't give this property to you.
It has happened 1,000 times. I've had that experience as well.
All of these things, with these ideas that these guys have, what can be done to ensure that they are on the right path? Because we cannot really say that they are bad.
Yeah. So first of all, what we need to work on is, as a country, is awareness, right? Most of them are not even aware of the sector at which they are operating. Most of them do not even know the skills that they have. Many of them are just street smart. And when you're street smart, you have that negotiation skill, you have the marketing skill, you're smart, and some of them are really street smart. And it takes someone who is also street smart to be able to deal with most of them. So I think, all of these skills can actually be harnessed. First of all, what we need to do is awareness. Let the people on the streets, let the landlords even know that these guys, for now, they are quacks.
Okay.
Then they themselves, they need to come like this. I want to do this. Right? And if you really want to flourish at what you do, then you should be willing to improve. Do you understand? You must be willing to be professional at what you do. Do you understand? So not everybody believes in, let me just get better, let me learn more, and all of those stuff. But if you really want to do this, you must undergo through this level of training. For instance, we have the Association of Real Estate Agents. Do you understand? All of them can actually get registered under this body. Do you understand? And when you're registered under this body, you know that you have the necessary education that you need, the necessary, like it doesn't take time. It doesn't take time. I think it's 2 stages of exams, I think, or just 1 stage. Do you understand? So you must be willing to improve yourself. You must be willing to develop yourself. It's not about just saying I have this house for sale, I have this house to let and all of those stuff. So all of these things, all of these skills they have can actually be harnessed, but it actually boils down to, are they willing to? Are they willing
Are
to?
they willing? Willingness is very important, and
Very,
that's why
very.
they say that you can take a horse to the river, but you
You
cannot force it to drink.
water.
True.
And that is why we need to raise awareness so that as much as this horse does not want to drink, people are holding on to their pockets so that they don't fall victim. All right.
And they are losing money too.
Yes, they are.
They are, because, for instance, like I mentioned, we have a lot of real estate developers that will not deal with unprofessional agents.
Actually,
My company, looking at what my company is, we are building luxury properties, smart homes and stuff. I wouldn't allow someone who is not professional to market my property, because directly or indirectly it's affecting my company.
And
It's
affecting
affecting
the
my
brand.
ethic, it's affecting the brand, it's affecting the culture. And if you're out there and you're telling me that you are marketing for Prime 6 Construction Limited, for instance, and my client is looking at, this person is not professional, like, it has its own way of affecting the brand, the image of my company. So as an unprofessional agent or a street agent, you are losing money too, because some brands don't want to work with you. So if you improve yourself, if you get the necessary qualifications, the necessary registration, you belong to the right associations and stuff, developers will be willing to work with you. Thereby, you yourself, you're making more money.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Oluwa Kayode. Now, during the course of our conversation, you made mention of the fact that inspection fees is illegal.
Illegal, yes.
And then just taking a walk to your LinkedIn page, I saw an article as far back as August 2023. But we'll be talking more about this inspection fee being illegal when we come back from our break. Please stay tuned and keep watching. It's Good Morning Africa. We'll be back in a moment.
My name is Mrs. Mary Akimbami. I'm a Chief Marketing Officer for Federal Housing Authority. Now, Federal Housing Authority is saddled with the responsibility of providing accessible, affordable houses to all Nigerians. So basically, that is why we are all here, to let Nigerians know that, there is a plan for you to have affordable houses. And the government has given us the mandate, and we're coming out in every state of the Federation to ensure that every Nigerian is eligible to get a house. At the end of these 5 days, I expect that a lot of Nigerians will know what their options are in terms of affordable houses, so you should be able to know where to go and who to meet. And I believe that most of us that are here and all the participants are credible, providers of housing in Nigeria. So yes, I expect like a wider outreach. And for FHA, I expect that all Nigerians should be anticipating what is coming, because we're coming out big. There's so much for every Nigerian, especially the young Nigerians, who are starting up their career. So there's affordable housing plan on the way. That is FHA Renewed Hope Housing Estate, which is the mandate of the president. We're on it fully.
Welcome back from that quick break. If you're just joining us, this is the Good Morning Africa show on Housing TV Africa. Still in the studio with our guest in person of Mr. Oluwa Kayode Abi, the head of media sales and marketing, Prime 6 Construction Limited. And we're still discussing street agent pros and cons, that's the proliferation of housing agents. So, Mr. Kayode, before we went on a break, Cassandra made mention of one of your articles which you wrote as far back as 2023, talking about inspection fees, what people should know, and all of that. So kindly run through that. Talk to us about inspection fee being illegal and how people can be able to stand their ground in not paying inspection fee. Because I remembered one time that I was looking for an apartment. I had an issue with the agent concerning inspection fee. Yes, we dragged it. I told him, I said, you have to tell me where in the world people pay money. Like, you are even supposed to be the one calling me every day, because you know you're going to get a percentage out of that money. Don't take the advantage of me needing an accommodation, you understand, to want to, milk me. So it became an issue. We're going back and forth. I said, okay, fine, let's go. I'll only give you an inspection fee if that property you're taking me to is what I want. Because it doesn't make any sense. You're taking me around the whole area, 3,500 naira times 10.
Imagine how much
Yes.
inspection fee people will have to pay anytime they went to the market, and
So
the people selling will have, what they bring. People selling, the traders will always bring something for you, and then you're like, that is not what I want. Imagine how much they would get if people were paying inspection fee for every item that they showed their customers. So how is this exactly illegal though? Let's know.
Inspection fees from the pit of hell.
Okay.
I like that.
Right. And before 2019, yes, I did not hear anything called inspection
Exactly. At what point did this whole inspection fee thing started?
Because my first apartment in Abuja I got in 2017. Nobody collected anything called inspection fee. And truth be, even then, agency fee and legal was 10%. Right? But now people pay as high as 20% as agency and legal fee, which is, if you ask me, still illegal though. Because I think what is stated is 5% agency, 5% legal, right? But because we have chains of agents when you're looking for an apartment, they'll start arguing with you that how many of us wants to share this? Do you understand? It's not supposed to be my business, right? But now we are talking about inspection fee, right? Inspection fee is illegal because I have not seen anywhere it's written. If you go through the process of letting an apartment, the agent is just supposed to let you know that, okay, there's an apartment here. That is his job. His job is for him or her to get listings and market. So you as a tenant should not be paying someone because they are trying to get their work done, right? When you get your work done, you have given me what I like. I pay you a commission. If you walk to the place, if you disappear, it's none of my business. Do you understand? So that is why I said inspection fee is from the pit of hell. But right now, the thing is, what can we do about it? If you don't pay them the inspection fee, you will not get an apartment. Because these guys are on the streets, they know the apartments that are vacant than we the professionals. Truth be told, some of us professionals go back to these agents. I'm looking for this apartment. Do you have? Now, this is because there is a breach of communication from property owners and professionals. If that breach of communication is there, we cannot throw these guys out. Do you understand? Now, before now, like that, what I know is that if I have an apartment that is vacant, I look for a professional agent and I tell them, they list my property and they bring in tenants that might want to take, they pay, then I get my commission. Do you understand? But because we are trying to boycott taxis and stuff, the house owners choose to go they go through the unprofessional way. Do you understand? But I still say it, inspection fees from the pit of hell. It has milked a lot of people. For instance, someone that has a budget of 1 million naira to get an apartment coming into Abuja, I have just 1 million naira. And you are taking me to different houses and you're asking me to pay you 10,000 naira anytime you visit. I'm beginning to touch my rent.
And sometimes they intentionally take you to places that they know that you doesn't like.
Yes.
So you keep going.
You keep going. And I think we really need to step up as individuals, as the government needs to step up. Then the regulatory agencies need to step up. Because these guys are milking Nigerian citizens. A lot is happening. A lot of money is going into that sector. You know, government is losing tax in form of VAT. Government is losing a lot of tax. Because if I am supposed to rent an apartment for £1 million, I'm supposed to pay VAT of 7.5%. But if 500 people got an apartment last month, trust me, 450, 470 of them got from a street agent. Now, multiply 7.5% on those properties. Government has lost a lot of tax, a lot of money. So, I think when the government and the regulatory agencies wake up to the fact that they are losing money in that area, they will do something about it. And I think this will now lead us to what can be done. I think the government needs to strengthen its collaboration with the institutions. And we need to, there needs to be a lot of awareness campaigns by the government, by the institutions. Let people, because an average Nigerian don't even know that there's a profession called estate management and valuation.
Yes.
Trust me, you might not even know. Okay, you will know because you're in the housing, you're in the, you know. A lot of people don't even know they just know there are people they call agents, there are people they call caretakers. Someone that is not professional is not even supposed to manage a property because you don't even know what you're doing, you don't know the legal left, right. Do you understand? Let me put it that way. So I think we need there needs to be a lot of awareness campaigns. There needs to be a lot of strengthening when it comes to public-private partnership.
Okay.
The developers, the house owners, the institutions, you know, like the professional institutions, not even talking of the government regulatory body yet, because NICE is not governmental, you know, it's an institution. So there needs to be the information and the communication there needs to be strengthened. Let us come together and attack this, because you cannot do it alone. The institution cannot do it alone, the government cannot do it alone. We need everybody on board if we are going to, because the government is losing a lot of money. A lot of money. Yes.
All right. Okay. Now, looking at this minutes, looking at inspection fees and all of that, I'm going to give another instance. Someone did not get a house through agent. That is someone that I know did not get a house through an agent. They just walked into a neighborhood together.
Yeah.
So if you don't cooperate with us to get any property, so how can this be adjusted?
Wow, as I said, the government has a lot of work to be done. A lot of work. Because like you said, the house owners are aiding and abetting this thing we are talking about. And truth be told, if you ask me to come and pay an apartment that I walked around, nobody brought me, and you ask me to pay agency, that is what they do right now. Forgive me to say that was applicable here. Do you understand? They still want, it's just greed. You know, we have greedy people. Some people won't mind. They won't ask you to pay, because I stayed in apartments some time ago, and trust me, it was an estate. Throughout my stay in that apartment, I didn't pay service charge. The landlord told me not that I shouldn't worry about it. He was paying. Any levy that we pay in that estate, we don't pay. The landlord pays. Do you understand? So it goes beyond money, right? Some people are just there to prey on people, just to eat up people, eat up one another, and that is not good as citizens of this country, you know. But I believe when there are regulations to ways at which lettings and sales are done, right? All of these things need to be put into consideration, because if you ask me, I will tell you that all house owners, they should be registered. I'm an house, I own this property, and the government should be able to regulate that. Okay, before you can let out your property, it has to be done by a professional. If it's not done by a professional, there is a penalty, all of those things. I believe we as Nigerians, when there's no penalty to stuff, we just act anyhow. Understand? I've never traveled out of this country, but I have a friend that is in one of these countries. There was a time she needed to change where she stays. Right? Everything was done online. She wanted to do an interview. Do you understand? She was not even talking to the house owner at all. There's this professional agent that will handle the interview and everything. We want to talk to your previous landlords.
Yes.
So
you know
now
why
you've
don't-
been.
course.
Are you living? You know, are you owing rent? Have
Are
you
you a
committed
thief?
have you
Is there
committed
something
crime and you're
else?
running away? All of these things are we need to do all of these things. It will help us to curb crime. You know the type of person that is living
You're
in your
giving
house.
your property to.
Do you understand? But if you start going through corners, you don't even know because I can just go to UTC and fabricate one ID card and give to you. Who does your KYC? The professionals will do KYC. They want to know where you work. Sometimes they even go there to confirm if if
you're
truly
really
you
a
work
staff,
there.
yeah.
Yes.
But a quack won't do that. He just wants to get his 10% and go. Sometimes you pay your rent and they get their 10% and they disappear, and you have issues. Nobody to hold because you met this guy under the tree. Do you understand?
And you've never seen the landlord before.
You have never seen
Yes,
a
it's
landlord.
It's very, very risky.
Sometimes they tell you to pay into their accounts, which is very wrong. You know, they just disappear with your money and you maybe the day you are moving, you're even cleaning, someone else will come and say, I paid for the same property.
Yes.
It happens a lot. So what we should do, the government has a lot of role to play. Individuals will have a lot of roles to play by not patronizing these guys. I know how difficult it can be when we want to get an apartment and stuff, but we will get there. We need to be patient, right? And then the government needs to really come on board. They really need to come on board because a lot is happening. A lot is people are losing their lives.
All right, Mr. Abe, talking about regulation, before we wrap up the Good Morning Africa show, we want to find out from you how can the government, how can private organizations, regulate this menace that we have currently, and how can these laws be enforced? Because, like you said, if there's no sanctions, Nigerians don't really, follow the rules, go with the law, and do things the right way. So, how can the government and also other private organizations as well, do these regulations, and also the enforcement is very important.
Okay, first of all, we need to understand that all land belongs to the government, right? A lot of people don't understand that. They don't even know. They believe they have paid for their land, and that is where the government comes in. Maybe from the National Assembly, let us spell out the process, how it is to be done, so that we know that if you're not doing it this way, you are doing it illegally. Do you understand? So when we step up our game and we know that this is how it's supposed to be done legally, and you're not doing it like that, you are doing something illegal. There may be sanctions, maybe jail terms. And I don't mean to sound wicked.
No, but jail terms,
yeah.
it should be
Maybe
because
jail terms.
when people don't do,
Yes, when you
learn
don't,
their lessons,
yes.
exactly.
Like the house owners, right? It should be enforced that you cannot give out your property unless a professional signs off. Do you understand? Nobody can do that except it's from a professional, right? Definitely there is a fee that goes to the professional. Now, that will now strengthen the house owner and professionals relationship. Do you understand? In its own way to push out these guys. If they know they want to be in business, they should get registered with the relevant bodies. Do you understand? Then as house seekers, as citizens of Nigeria looking for apartments, public awareness campaigns, so that we know that okay, these guys are quacks and we should not be dealing with them. It's just like you going to Wuse Market saying you want to buy a phone and you're meeting someone by the gate.
Just be rest assured that phone you are going
is
to
stolen.
say yes.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So all of these things we need to be aware. A lot of people are not aware. Some people are just frustrated. We won't blame them. Then the power from the landlords too can be so much, and they can be so power drunk. you know, and just wake up one morning and say, you get out of my house. A lot of tenants don't even know the rights they have as tenants, you know, and this makes some landlords just do anyhow they like. So I think there should be regulations from the National Assembly to guide us through the process of lettings and sales. If there is something like that, I can tell you that this is my company and this is how we do our thing. This is not applicable somewhere else. Do you understand? But if there is a laid down principle, a laid down guideline, then that will help. We know that, okay, this is what is applicable, right? That will help strengthen the bond and the communication between house owners and professionals. When, as the house owner, you know you cannot deal with anybody that is not a professional, or else you'll be sanctioned, you will be forced to reach out to the professionals. The professionals are everywhere. They are not hiding. You know, everywhere in Abuja, you have offices, real estate consultants, real estate this, real estate that. You can just walk into, but laziness sometimes will not make some people do
Or
the right
maybe
thing.
even money, because consultancy is not free. So
Exactly.
people have
That
to
is
pay
where
for
that is where the agency fee definitely
Have to pay for that.
that's definitely it's something that they have been paying for. You know, the tenants
They just
pay
have
the
to pay it
agency.
the right way.
Just pay the right,
Right
way.
way.
And let governments get their 7.5%. Simple.
Okay.
You know, so when this communication has actually been worked on, you know, if you kick these guys out, if you want to do business, you do business the right way, then we that are the consumers, we are aware that we cannot patronize these guys because there are right people that we should patronize. So this makes the communication seamless. Do you understand? We are not throwing the unprofessionals out because we have given them another chance to up their games. Do you understand? And they can now come under the professional bodies. Everybody's winning. The government is making more money through VAT. The house owner is at peace because the tenant that is coming in has been vetted. Do you understand? The professional who is letting is happy because he has collected his own fee. The tenant is happy because one day one person not just come and embarrass you out of your house. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So these are things I would advise that we do.
It's obvious that regulation is very important. And if you talk about, I know when you mentioned Jotem, it looked like you were trying to advocate for something really big, but it's not. When we refer to other countries as sinner climbs, so to say, this is what they do that makes them sane, because of the fact that whatever someone drops on the road, they know that if I don't drop it appropriately, there's going to be a consequence. They know that if I do not do this the right way, there's going to be a consequence. The moment people step out of this country, they tend to behave well.
Of
And
course.
the moment they get back, it's a different ball game altogether.
Yeah.
Because they know that there is no one regulating anything in that case. Or even if there's regulation, they know someone that knows somebody that knows someone that is regulating. So somehow they have a way of getting their way out. So apart from the government, there's a lot of responsibility on the side of the citizenry that we need to do so much. And the citizenry includes those who are renting, those who are the property owners, and even these are agents, so to say. But just before we round up on the program, with everything that has been said here, how can potential buyers or even potential renters identify some of these unprofessional agents?
Okay, my advice to potential house buyers, house renters is that do your due diligence.
Okay.
Number one, it's money, and money you don't just pluck it on the tree,
Not at all.
right? And these monies are so expensive. Don't just walk under a tree and meet someone. They are under the trees. They're just parked somewhere. If you want to do business with someone that has an office space at least. You know, do your due diligence because you are parting with money. House buyers, don't just say because this person is. You don't trust people when it comes to money. You know, money can make people go crazy. So due diligence is very important. Whosoever you are using as your agent, make sure and be sure that this person is actually who he says he is. So do your due diligence. Don't out of frustration just jump into the streets. Because when they say that you're desperate, they take what you have and they run away. So first of all, I'll just advise you, just deal with professionals. There are professionals everywhere in Abuja.
Okay.
Everywhere in Abuja, you have at least one estate surveyor and valuer or lawyers. Even though I used to say lawyers are quacks too, you know.
Some.
We have some lawyers.
I think you're generalizing at
in
this point.
the real estate.
Okay.
Yeah, some of them are have actually gone ahead, because I have a friend who's a lawyer who is taking professional exams with the Nigerian Institution of Estate
Yeah,
Valuers.
there are some of them that are specialized. They're should I say, no, not level, their category of practice. They have decided to specialize
Real estate.
into property law or estate law and all of that.
That
Yes.
is, okay. So that is me. Most times I say lawyers are quacks.
No,
but,
we have some.
oh, are you a lawyer?
No, I'm not. But
Okay.
in every profession, we have quacks. You know, not all lawyers are quacks. Just like she mentioned,
Some
we
have.
have.
I
Yes,
think
some
it's
has
always very
decided
safe to use some.
Yes,
Okay,
some.
so okay,
Yes,
I take my
Yes.
word back. Some.
Yes, some.
I used to say some lawyers are quacks.
Good.
So I take my lords. I take my word back. So please, as citizens of the country, let's do things the right way. Let us go and do business with professionals. Let's not try to cut corners, because directly or indirectly, it still falls back on you. Yes.
Okay. And okay, doing business with professionals will require you to identify a professional. Will require you to differentiate between a professional and a quack. And it still brings me back to that question: how can you identify someone that is not professional or someone that is professional?
Trust me, it's not applicable every time, but looking at our topic on professional agents, street agents, you know, even from the way they are dressed, you will know that this guy is just someone.
So
on
in
the
this
streets.
case, we are judging the book by the cover.
That's why I said it's not applicable every time.
But there's a
right?
statement
But
that the way you're dressed, that's the way
you are dressed. Yes,
You know,
yes. So thank you for
So
that.
in this case, we're supposed
matters.
to judge the book by the cover.
Most times it's dicey, right?
That's what
But
we're trying to imply.
as individuals, right, due diligence is very important.
Of course.
If I want to do business with a lawyer, I know that if I go to a lawyer's office, I'll see the wig, I don't know what they call that and stuff. But sometimes you see people on the street that are quacks. They have never been to law school. But truth be told, we need to calm down. There are offices everywhere in Abuja. Social media can help with that.
Okay.
Trust me, your Instagram algorithm, just type properties Abuja. You have a lot of them. Go online, you see a lot of them. But for people that cannot access social media and all of those stuff, you know, professionals are just everywhere.
But then we still have quacks in social media.
Like there are people who will still go through the pain of renting a space.
Exactly.
Trying, because for everything they want to make it a make-believe. Because we've had instances where people have been scammed of their money because they want to rent a property or let a property. They're like, this shop was here, that day I came, it was here.
Office I entered,
and it's like deja vu, I think that it has to go beyond just physical offices. I like the fact that you are trying to point out to algorithms where people have to search. Like, for instance, the same way people invest in finding a husband or even a wife, because before you get married into any family, you're like, I want to know where this girl is coming from.
Yeah.
And all of that, you're going through all of the stress and hassle of asking your relatives, or you're going as far as knowing her friends or even knowing his friends, what are the mother's maiden name, the father's, all of those things. You want to know them, because it's not just about that woman or man you're getting married to. It's going to be about extending your family. So whatever it is. And some persons even go as far as trying to know the genetics, the genetical makeup of that family. Are they people who have some kind of sickness? So all of these things, if we are doing this in our personal lives, why can't we apply this? So like you made mention of social media, people can trace, because they are established scammers.
Yes, of
that
course.
They have been called out on social media several times. And I like the fact that,
yes,
I like the fact that sometimes some of these numbers of these scammers, the moment you put it on your phone, Truecaller identifies that, oh, for instance, I'm trying not to use the Nigerian tribal name so that it doesn't have a tribal thing. Let me find,
let's just use an English name.
Yes. Janet scammer.
Or Janet agent.
Yes. agent scammer. So
Yeah.
it shows, because some persons have decided to like invest in putting that up there so that other people cannot fall victim. So I
Yeah.
think, like you are saying, it's very important that people do their due diligence.
Yeah.
There are so many ways to identify these people. They are always so hasty for you to let go of your money. They are like, this thing you are giving me is not going to be enough, but let me see what I can do. So there are so many ways that people need to know. But the fact that you've been hammering on physical shops, people still
Physical
go a
offices,
lot.
yeah.
These people, they can go the extra mile just to make people believe.
I believe, yeah.
Yes, that this thing we are doing here is for real. And the moment they get the amount of people they want, they are off.
They are off that area,
And
that particular area.
before you
yes.
know it, you will come and then you see people pulling off their clothes, screaming that this shop was right here the day I came. It has happened and it's still happening.
So the thing about it's huge, right? You know, we one thing that you should understand is that we cannot get it 100%, right? Because we have not been doing this, it's actually going to make it look difficult, but it's possible,
Yeah.
you know. So first of all, even if you are registering your business with the government, one thing you need is a physical address.
Exactly.
Do you understand? So now, when we are now done with the physical address, that is where affiliations and everything comes in. You know, so I think one of the things our bodies can do is to make it available, like who and who is affiliated to this body.
Exactly.
Do you understand? It's not something that is going to happen overnight.
No.
Then, secondly, I would advise everybody listening to me to be street smart.
Very important.
It's very important to be street smart. You have to. It's money we are dealing with, so you don't, because when, like you mentioned, when they want to scam you, they want you to pay sharp.
Yes.
So if you see someone that is
So
just,
persuasive.
I'm not asking you not to be persuasive. It's part of marketing skills, right? Like, but when it's too much,
Yes, there's
you
a way
suspect.
of persuasiveness that
Yes,
makes it suspicious.
yes, you suspect that. Are you sure you just don't want to run away? Because why? I told you I'll get back to you tomorrow, and you are just calling. Just okay. If you don't have the full money, send half.
Yeah.
I don't understand. No.
And then also, I think people should also look out for. There's no business paying your rent to an agent.
Yeah,
There's
you
no
don't pay.
business. So if you see, or rather, if you hear an agent saying, "Don't worry, the landlord is not in Nigeria." That's always, they start with that. The landlord is not in Nigeria, the landlord is outside. So, you know, I'm the one managing most of his properties. They start listing, there's one in here, there's one there, you know, they start listing out properties. And then the next thing is, you can pay to my account, I'll be the one to pay.
pay to the landlord.
Don't even go there.
That's a red
Yes.
flag.
Yes,
That's
yes,
a big red flag.
Yeah. You don't pay to an agent. You don't pay to an agent. The agent is not. Although there are instances where for instance, estate surveyors and valuers that are managing properties on behalf of a client.
At least that is
You
professional.
understand?
That
That's professional.
exactly.
That is
So that one, you know, that's a
established.
professional. Then they will tell, okay, you are paying into that company's account. Then they remit to whoever the owner of the property is. But someone that you know is not a professional, please don't pay into such person's accounts, because that is premium tears. Trust me, you will come back and you will cry. It happens a lot. I don't start mentioning places, but please be street smart. Know that don't try not to cut corners, because when someone is telling you ways that you can cut corners of doing, then you should be suspecting the person. Do you understand? Because you know, when you are trying to be cut this, then not everything that is shining is gold. Do you understand?
Not all of glitters is gold.
Yes, not all that glitters is gold, you know. So they make it look like, this is rosy, this is. They'll start telling you that, if you don't get this now, it will go. Someone else. I don't want someone else to take it.
There's
it's
another
you I
agent
want.
bringing
Yes,
someone
it's
now.
you I want.
Yes.
It's you I want. Please
It's me in your house. You
suspect.
want.
Please suspect them, because most of them are just trying to go with your money and make you cry.
Thank you so much, Mr. Oluwakayode Abe, Head of Media Sales and Marketing, Prime Sticks Construction Limited. It was such a pleasure having this conversation with you, street agents, pros and cons. And I hope that our viewers have been able to learn one or two lessons. A whole lot of things are happening in the real estate sector. But I would just give this as a take home to everybody watching this today. above all, no matter the situation you're into, no matter what the country is at the moment, try as much as possible to be a good person. When you have a good conscience, you would not want to, take someone else's hard-earned money because of, oh, maybe I don't have a job, this is the fast way for me to get money. No, let's be good citizens. Let's be good people to one another. And above all, we are one Nigeria. I am Memuna Bagudu. Thank you so much for watching the Good Morning Africa show. We'll come your way same time, same station with another exciting episode.
Insights on the program. We appreciate you. I think one major takeaway is the fact that we need to regulate, regardless of how stringent these laws may seem to be. It's very, very important, because for us to have a sane Nigeria, for us to have a Nigeria that works, it has to start with all of us. And we must first of all put country first, because when you put country first, what you would not do to hurt yourself, you wouldn't do it to hurt our country. So thank you very much for sharing your wonderful takes with us on the program. We hope to have you again. Again and again. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching, dear viewer. I am Cassandra Yunimbe. Bye for now.
Housing TV Africa, your first in housing news.